Well, hey there, friends. Welcome to another live church website review. My name is Brian Haley. If we haven't met, I'm the producer of Church Juice. And at Church Juice, we are all about energizing church communications. So that's why we have this live website review series that we're doing every week on YouTube this summer. We're taking a look at a different church website every Wednesday where we do a live unpacking. We give our first impressions, kind of work through the website together. I give you, you're watching live along with me as we all kind of explore a church website for the first time together. So we've done this a few times. If you haven't already, I'd encourage you to go back and watch some of the previous website reviews that we've done throughout this series, because you'll see that there are some foundational elements that we talk about repeatedly, maybe even in every review. But then every church website is unique and is different. And, things pop out to me, and I'm sure pop out to you differently every time you look at a different church website. So every review offers a unique perspective, a different look, some different tips and tricks, and maybe not tricks, but tips and maybe just ideas. And we hope that you take these as we work through these websites. You can take it back to your own church website to help you improve your website, maybe the performance, or maybe reaching your audience, your community, maybe connecting to your congregation. So today we're looking at Islington United Church, and they are in Toronto, Canada. So let me pull that up here if I can find where I'm supposed to be going. All right, so there you can see the website address that we're going to go to. Let me share my screen so you can see what we're up to here. As always, Church Juice offers free church communication resources and we do consulting, we do some training. Of course, we have our blog and podcast and different things. So if you are in church communications, and if you are in church, you are in church communications, because everything we do communicates something, right? So Church Juice exists to be a support to you. So I encourage you, if you aren't already part of the Church Juice Church Communicator community, head to our website, check out the free resources that we have, join our Facebook group, join our email list, whatever. We're here to serve, to support you. So however we can do that, shoot me an email and let's chat. But for now, let's go to islingtonunited.org. They're a church in the Toronto area. And I hope I'm pronouncing it right, by the way. I actually have no idea, so I'm taking a guess here. But all right, so first thing that I want to do, I've done this on a couple websites where I went to Website Grader. This is a HubSpot tool. You can also go, here's another one, just through Google. They all kind of use the same thing. It's all based on Google's tools, but I like just the easy language that HubSpot gives you on there. So that's what I normally go to if I'm checking out a website. So you'll see the first thing that the website grader says is that the site is okay. So let's take a look. This is kind of the behind the scenes, some of the performance, some of the foundational stuff that the church is built, or the website is built on. So we see here that the website's performance is not doing too great. It has a pretty large page size. There are a lot of page requests, meaning that the code is asking for a lot of requests as it loads. And the more, you can see here, the more requests that your website makes, the slower it becomes. So there's a lot of requests, which means your page speed is pretty slow. You'll notice it took a minute. It took a little bit for the website to come up. I guess you didn't see when I hit enter, but it took a little bit to load the homepage there. So it's a little bit slow. We see that images are taking a long time to load. Some of the coding, the JavaScript, CSS, looks like it might be slowing down the page as well. SEO looks good. This website is built on WordPress, it looks like. So it looks like you went in and did all the SEO things that you should do. So that's great. Mobile, it looks like 2 out of 3 are doing pretty good. This middle one, a lot of websites fail here. It's basically the clickable area where you have like a button or a link or whatever. Sometimes Google thinks that it's too small, and that can be kind of hard um, to work on, but something that it does catch. And of course, as more people use their phones to Google things, to check out websites, having a mobile friendly website is important. So that's something to check out. Security is good. So these are the top requests: the page size, page request, page speed. So all of that, making sure that you are using images that are the right size, that are not too large or too small. Making sure that your code is simplified, that your page size doesn't have maybe too many images or too much that's asking it to load, those kinds of things. So let's go back to the website itself. So that was just some of those, as you're building a website, things to think about as you're working on a website, kind of the behind the scenes stuff that can make a difference in how your website performs, even in search results. If Google thinks that your website is poor quality, it's going to show your website lower in search results. So, and of course, there's also the user experience side of that. But let's move on because we're not doing a course on code and website performance, right? So let's give our first impressions here. All right, so Islington United Church. Again, I said this is a church in the Toronto area. First thing that I noticed right away is that this top area, our first impression, so I would say even including this marquee, it feels a bit crowded. It feels kind of busy to me. So as a first-time person coming to your website for the first time, there's a lot of menu items: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Plus you have this up here, 8, 9, 10. Generally speaking, 5 to 7 menu items is good. You want the wording to be simple so that people so they know what to expect, but that they can easily read it, that it doesn't take too much space. I don't really love drop downs either. I would rather go to a landing page for something. Let's see what happens if we click about. It's not clickable. So you have to click into one of these pages. But I would rather go to an about page, and then you have all of these different options rather than having drop downs, because the different different levels of menu just adds more complexity. It makes it more confusing for the user. I don't know where to go, especially if it's my first time. I don't know what some of these mean, that kind of thing. So I'd love to see this simplified a bit. Some of these probably aren't necessary. Home, I don't think is necessary. People know to click the logo now, generally speaking. Want to stay connected. It looks like if I'm, you guys can't see this, but as I hover over it, I've mentioned this before, in the lower corner of the page, you can see that it's, where the link takes you to, or what the website address is. So this is a subscribe, subscribe list form is what it looks like. Affirm, I don't know what that means. I'm assuming it's an inclusion and affirmation statement, which it is. And then make a gift or donate. I would say that these things, if they're that important, should be probably in this main menu. I understand that this is empty space, and so maybe that does make sense. I would say that want to stay connected, it opened in a new tab. So let me say this again, it's just a form. So I would rather have it take me to a page about staying connected, and subscribing is part of that, right? So So that's just a little bit on the menu. Maybe your building is open on a lot, and so things like ceremonies and the calendar and those kinds of things where outside people come in and use the building is important. But I would encourage you to consider how to reorganize the site map, the way that people engage with the website, how they navigate through the different pages that are offered. You can also look at analytics. Are people going to all of these pages? If not, or if it's very rare, then maybe that's something that you can get rid of the page, or maybe you can nest some of that information on another page to make it just simpler for you on the managing side, so that there is less content, less pages to keep updated, all of that. But also for the user, just easier experience, better experience there. I've talked in the past about marquee items or like these rotating carousel items. I don't love them. People don't really sit here and wait or scroll through all of them. Looks like you only have. Oh no, there's a couple here. But one is this walk for social justice happening in October. And the next one is a welcome. I'm curious where this takes me. I guess it doesn't take you anywhere. So really, this is not super usable space. This social justice walk, if you click on the button, it does take you out to a page about that. But this other, the welcome, it looks like it doesn't take you anywhere. So really, is this actually adding value to your website? I would say probably not. I would love instead, I've mentioned this probably in every website. Nature's great. I'm not sure how well that applies to a church website. I would love to see pictures of people because that's what the church is, right? Nature's great. Love nature, but is that the first impression? And if you're a church settled in the middle of a nature reserve, or like out in a rural area, maybe that's part of your branding. But overall, I think the preference should be to include pictures of people, pictures of the church itself. Again, nature, adventure, that can be part of your brand, but I don't think it is with Islington United Church. I think that's just kind of some images that you all have picked. So let's move on. I love that you all have these 6 icons or 6 little, buttons, calls to action here. I think if we're focused, if your target audience is new visitors, maybe you rethink this a little bit. What does a first-time visitor want or need to know? Sunday service is probably one of those. They probably don't know what a prayer wall is, or may not yet want to participate in something like a prayer wall. Meditation with James. I was going to say, is that the book of James, but I can't really think of meditations taking place in the book of James. So I assume James is a person. And so this is an event. I don't know what these things are, basically, as a first-time visitor. So I would love if, I think these are a great use of space, but I would love to see them more focused on a first-time visitor. What questions am I asking? What do you have for kids? Maybe this is where you put your affirmation, not statement, but like the click through to see your affirm statement. What do you have for kids? What to expect on Sundays? Can I watch a past sermon or past service? Maybe you have one that's upcoming events, or that what you had up here, the want to stay connected. Maybe you put that here, and maybe that would then link to a page about how to stay connected and include that form again, like I talked about earlier. You then have a calendar of upcoming events. This is great for people who are connected to your church. So if if your church website, if the audience is people who are already connected to your church, then I think these buttons probably make sense along with the church event calendar. If your audience, if you're trying to use your church website to reach new people, to reach people in your community, or make that first impression, if that's what you're trying to do, then I would say that that the homepage of your website needs to be geared toward people who have no experience with your church or very little experience with your church. Um, so it's good to see that there are things happening, but they probably don't need to see the full calendar of events. Maybe you highlight a couple things, um, you know, that kind of thing. Um, but they probably don't need the full calendar. Um, Again, on the side, you have it looks like some highlights. So you have your walk for social justice. You have audio sermon. So it looks like this would be your sermon archive, an opportunity to donate, and again that subscribe thing. So these are all already up in the menu, up in these in this top part of the website. So what I would love to see is probably again, I like these 6 icons here. I would love to see some content here. Instead of the church calendar, instead of these highlighted options, um, if these are important, which I would assume they are, maybe they should be up here. Your sermon archive, opportunity to donate. Um, if again, depending on who your target audience is, but some content in this part of your website would be really great to have here. Who are you as a church? What makes Islington United? What makes you Islington United? What value are you adding to people coming to your website? What questions are you answering? Obviously, you're an affirming church, so I would assume that lives into your church identity. So a paragraph about who you are as a church, where you're located, those kinds of things. That will make a big difference in how your website returns on search results. It will make a big website on how people are interacting with your website, and it just offers some more information. So again, this kind of goes back to defining who your audience is here. Is it your congregation? Then maybe this is okay. Um, is it for new people, first time visitors to your website, to your church, kind of exploring maybe faith, maybe your church specifically? Then I would think that you need to rework your homepage a little bit here. Um, yeah. I think we'll leave it at that. Um, I would encourage you at Islington to really define who your audience is, who's coming to your website. If it is people who are already connected to your church and they're going to the things that are for church members and they're using the homepage to get there, and you don't have a lot of visitors to your, first time visitors to your website, maybe that's why the website is built this way. Um, if you're wanting to make a first impression for people exploring their faith, exploring your church, that kind of thing, then your homepage should be geared toward them. You still want to offer a space for your church members to get the information that they need to get connected, to stay connected. And so that would be, that would be a page that you could offer. We've talked a little bit about a central hub, so that could be where some of this information goes. But your homepage then would be a lot more introducing who you are as a church, what you are as a church, and making that first impression, and just kind of educating people about who you are. The other thing that I've talked about on other websites that we haven't talked a whole lot about today is a single call to action. So again, going back to your target audience, but assuming that your homepage should be toward first-time visitors, or people who don't have a relationship with your church or very little relationship with your church, The homepage is the introduction. So how are you introducing your church? Then you should have one, maybe two calls to action that's repeated throughout the page, the homepage, that gives someone a next step. There should always be a next step. So what is the next step that you want somebody to take? Is that to take part in an event? Is it to visit a page that has more information for first-time visitors? What is that next step that you want people to take? And then from there, what is that next step that you want people to take? It should be a continual process where you're offering a simple next step for somebody as they explore your church, as they explore, whatever questions that they're asking and how you're answering them. So, some things to think about. I hope that you found this review helpful, whether you're Islington Church or another church. We have one more church website review that we're going to do next week. So I'm really excited. I love this series that we've done. Maybe we'll do it again this fall. We'll see. If you would like to see it return this fall, shoot me an email. My email, the best way to contact me is info@churchjuice.com. That's the easiest way. I would love to hear your comments, both about Islington United Church's website. If you haven't already made a comment in the video or on our Facebook group, send me an email. I'd love to hear that. I would love to also hear your thoughts about future website review or something different. I would love to hear those ideas and just feedback from you as well. So shoot me an email. Again, info@churchjuice.com. Again, next week will be our last website review of this series for the summer. I'm really excited. If you haven't already, I encourage you to subscribe to the Church Juice channel. You'll get all of the podcasts, all of the videos that we do like this. We have some shorts and different things coming up too that will be added to the channel. So if you love consuming content by video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're not part of the Church Juice community, I talked earlier about heading to churchjuice.com, but you can also head to our Facebook group and find more information from community, from a community of church communicators. So that's what we're here to support you with. So any way that we can serve you in church communications, please let me know. And I will see you next week. Have a great week.